There are 1,454 registered voters in Caye Caulker village. While that may not seem like many, compared to other constituencies across Belize, these voters are preparing to make a major decision that will affect the entire country. On Wednesday, voters head to Caye Caulker RC School to decide if cannabis should become legal on the island. According to Chief Elections Officer Josephine Tamai, the polls will be monitored by individual NGOs to keep the exercise free of political interference.
One of the other things we're going to see tomorrow, because since they're not political agents as such, we will be having monitors inside those polling stations to monitor the process in terms of ensuring that we have transparency and accountability in the electoral process. And so, so far, we know that we will be having persons from the churches and also representatives from the petitioners who will serve as monitors for tomorrow.
The voting exercise does not differ greatly from the voting process for general elections. 3 polling stations will be open at 7 a.m., with trained public officers stationed to facilitate the polling and later the counting. Stepping into the role of returning officer is Anthony Mai, Chief Environmental Officer at the Department of Environment. He'll be leading the charge from Belmopan under the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change, and Solid Waste Management. Joining him as elections clerk is Rigoberto Quintana, Fisheries Administrator at the Fisheries Department, representing the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation out of Belize City.
When it comes to confirmation of the monitors, right? The commission had approved for 4 groups, initially had approved for 4 groups to be a part of that process. However, we only got responses from the churches and from the representatives of the petitioners who confirmed that they will actually appoint monitors for tomorrow. Also, we know that when it comes to the NTUCB, they have also indicated that they will not basically stay inside the room as a monitor, but they will also be there just to basically observe the process.
The results of the referendum will be determined by a majority vote, so that means every vote counts. Tamai encourages all registered voters to exercise their rights at the polls.
Normally, the trend for a referendum, you have a lower voter turnout. But because I know that this issue is one that is very dear to residents of Caye Caulker, I'm hoping that persons will come out, so cast their vote. We know that the result would be a majority. So whatever the result is, majority of the persons would have voted for either a yes or a no vote. And so for persons who want to stay at home thinking that their voices will be heard, I want to encourage them to come out, because that is the only way either your yes or no votes will be counted if you come out and cast your votes.
Only qualified electors for Caye Caulker can participate in the referendum, meaning that they must be registered at the time of the polls opening. Tamai explains how to check if your information is up to date.
I want to encourage persons to go to Election and Boundaries website, which is www.elections.gov.bz. You go on the site, you go to the voter lookup. If you put in your name and your date of birth, you put in your personal information, that will tell you where you are to go and cast your vote. But persons can utilize it to check to see if their names are on the register. Right. Also, we will have registers posted outside of the polling stations so that persons can also check. You'll also have an information clerk outside. If you're not certain as to which one of the 3 stations you are to go, then you could always check with the information clerk.
As Caye Caulker is a relatively small constituency, Tamai anticipates that the counting will conclude quickly, after which she will announce the results. Whether your vote leans towards yes or no, all registered voters on Caye Caulker are encouraged to have their voices be heard at the station. Britney Gordon for News 5.